Once upon a time, there was a young girl that complained to her father, saying her life was miserable and she did not know how she was going to make it through. She was over the stress and the constant struggles. Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen, where he filled 3 pots with boiling water. He placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and coffee beans in the third pot. After 20 minutes, he turned off the stove, placed the potatoes and eggs in a bowl. He then laid the coffee out and placed it in a cup. He turned to his daughter and asked, "What do you see?" She replied, "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee." He told her to look closer and touch the potato and tell him what she saw. She said that it was soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. She then observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. She asked, "Father, what does this mean?" He went on to explain that the potatoes, eggs, and coffee had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard, and unrelenting, but in boiling water it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the shell protecting the liquid until it was put into the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. He then asked his daughter, "Which are you?" The analogy of this story is comparing the boiling water to the lifelong journey of the student. By using the boiling water, potato, egg, and coffee beans analogy, we are able to analyse and critique a student's educational journey. Firstly, looking at the potato analogy, most of our students start with an equal potential to learn. They are strong and unrelenting, but if they suffer negative impacts such as bullying or negative social and emotional aspects, they can have their learning experiences weakened or even destroyed. This can be compared to the potato being soft. Bell Hooks talks about transgression and how important it is within students' learning. She states, teaching students to transgress against racial, sexual, and class boundaries in order to achieve the gift of freedom. If a teacher fails to address these parts of a student's identity, it will impact negatively on their self-efficacy, making them like the potato, soft and weak. When looking at the egg, this change can be taken in a negative or positive manner. According to Bell Hooks, self-actualization should be the goal of the teacher as well as the student. This is looking at the aspect positively, as through students' learning experience, they discover self-actualization. They take the liquid form they begin with at the commencement of their learning journey and make themselves whole and formed. Whereas with John Dewey's philosophy, this change can be looked at in a negative way. He states, "I believe that this educational process has 2 sides, one psychological and one sociological, and that neither can be subordinated to the other or neglected without evil results following. When only one of these sides of learning is addressed effectively, the students become inflexible and unable to cope with their change that life forces them to experience. They become hardened and find it difficult to adjust and assimilate into society effectively, like the hard-boiled egg." It is my aim as a teacher to make my students like the coffee bean. I believe teachers play a key role in their students' development, personally and academically. As a teacher, we are able to have a major influence on our students' lives as we guide them through their academic journey. The most fundamental part of being a teacher is recognizing that all students learn differently, and it is our job to provide effective learning techniques to allow the students to learn effectively. I want my students to take their experience of learning, i.e. the boiling water, and not be afraid to go out and change the world, create something new from what they have learned. I want to be able to provide my students with a set of skills and academic knowledge that they will be able to carry with them through their entire school life and even out into the workforce. I want my students to be able to reach their full potential by helping them find self-fulfillment, their own personal values, good communication skills, and the development of effective learning styles. As an educator, you must be aware of your own experiences as a human being and the impact your learning journey can have on your students. From your learning journey, how do you think you can respond? Are you the potato, the egg, or the coffee?